Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I have the DJI Air 2S with me today. This is the day after the Mini 4 was introduced, and so, you know, we've got the Air 3, the Mavic 3 Pro. We've got a bunch of new advanced drones from DJI, but there's still, if you can still buy this guy brand new on DJI's website, and it represents a tremendous bargain. Now, I had a whole different idea when I brought this drone out here today. I was going to test some ascent and descent speed. I looked up the specs. It's the same whether you're in sport mode or normal mode, 6 meters per second ascent or descent. So my test would not be valid with this drone. But I've got about, I don't know, you're going to see here, I don't know, not a full battery, but we got enough there that I think we should go for a quick flight. And one of the things I started thinking of is that, you know, we're bragging a lot about the new version of obstacle avoidance and APAS on the newer drones. This guy did really well with both of those. So let's just take off here. Let's fly it around some trees and stuff, and let's show you how well the APAS works on this guy. One of the innovations was, you know, now we have those big fisheye cameras on the newer drones, but one of the innovations was these sensors that gave the drone where it could look up a little bit and gave it a much wider field of view, including the front sensors. So APAS is really good on this drone. So let's fly it around. It's going to be a short flight. Just mess around and we can show you just how well it works and how you can fly this drone close through trees, etc., and not worry about it. The drone is going to do just fine. So let's quit messing around. Let's get this bird in the air. Okay, I got fired up here, and there's a looks like there's a firmware update. So hopefully this won't take too long, and then we'll get going. It says the firmware will be updated to the latest version to prevent flight safety risks due to inconsistent firmware version between aircraft modules. Now, boy, if you understand what that means, you're smarter than me. But in any case, that's what it's doing. We'll be back in a second. Okay, that just took a couple minutes, and the aircraft restarted, and we're getting that aircraft firmware updated successful. So let's go into the Go Fly app. And as usual, the first thing we do is check out our safety menu. And I want to make sure we're in bypass mode. We have a 35-meter return to home height set up, and compass is normal, IMU is normal, battery, the battery is not, I can't remember what percentage we have, but that looks good. Let's go to that about page so I can show you the firmware. So firmware is 02.04.2500, and again, we're on the latest app version 1.12.0. Yeah, 52%, so we're kind of down there. Let's quit messing around. This drone doesn't have a lot of flight time as it is. We're shooting in 4K 30. Let's go ahead and start our recording. And I noticed it changed its focus there when we, as I was messing around. Let's go ahead and do an automated takeoff, maybe. There we go. So there's the drone, and we're going to go straight up 7 meters, and this guy should be able to get us a precision landing. It's the Air 2 has always been pretty good. That's 6.5 meters. We'll go up a little bit further. They want you to go up a little ways before you move off, and let's come back down here, and we'll do our droney. So as you can see here, we're underneath the picnic shelter. So we might as well look at that APAS right now before we do our droney. Let's go straight forward on the stick, and you'll see the drone. Whoops! Let's stand back, son. Please move away. Okay. Okay, we're getting the drone out of the way. Just a little kid just came up here while I'm filming this, and yeah, I do not want to risk that. You gotta wonder where the parents are. Where are the parents? And I'm in a public park, so it's on me to maintain this kind of safety. So not you know, not blaming anybody but me, but as a drone pilot, that's the kind of stuff you got to watch out for. So we're not going to mess around here. Yeah, we got another kid that's. So you know what? We're at a public park. This may not work today, guys. We are going to get up and away, and that way, you know. And I don't blame those kids for being curious. Again, we're at a public park. So that's what we're doing. Okay. So we're kind of in a different part of the park here. The problem is, I want to make sure I can see everything around me here. But let's bring this guy down a little bit, and I can show you OA around these trees. So we're just going to go. We're in normal mode, full stick forward, and it's just coming to a stop. It's not moving around. It doesn't want to move around, and we're in APAS. So I guess that's going to tell you the difference between the newer versions of APAS, because I am quite certain that that the newer version of the drone, and you can see it's trying, right? It's trying. Okay, it did it. It finally got around. So let's see this tree now. And I'm just holding the stick straight forward, folks. That's all I'm doing. I'm straight forward on the right stick, and yeah. So it's moving around. Yeah, it's close, isn't it? It goes, man, I don't know. Ooh, it didn't like that. Okay, I'm a little nervous here. I'm going to move the drone sideways. So we're going to get out of the way of the branches of that particular tree. So yeah, so where I am flying at, I wanted to fly through the picnic shelter here, but we got some young visitors, which is fine. Again, it's a public park. Let's see if it'll fly into this tree. Nope. Yeah, but one of the things I'm noticing is that the APAS isn't as aggressive as it is on the newer drones. So you just don't get that same amount of quick movement away. So I'm going to get it closer to me here, because I was far enough away from where I'm at that you know, if I did hit a little branch or something, I would want to be able to go retrieve the drone quickly. So there's a little, we're not going to be able to do what I wanted to do here at under the picnic shelter. So anyway, it's kind of an interesting tree here. Looks like we got one of the branches that's started to change color. So let's go ahead and let's see if we can fly straight into that guy. What's the drone going to do? And again, you know, I'm going to go back and look and make sure we're in bypass. Trying to click on the 3 dots, and I am not getting that to work. 3 dots. There we go. Safety. Yeah, we're in bypass mode. I just wanted to double check that to make sure. So let's see how quick this guy will move around. And yeah, it's just it's braking, and it just doesn't find its way around like the newer drones. I'm telling you, I could do that with the Mini 3 Pro or with the Air 3 or the Mavic 3, and it would easily find its way around that. So like I said, I'm just holding that stick straight forward, and let's see what it does with this one. Yeah. And it's, you know, it's a little nerve-wracking because you see those little branches sticking out, and you go, does it see all of them? And I don't know. I don't have the same confidence with this one that I do with the other drones. So here we are. I'm going to point you back and let you see what's going on here. So that my visitors that I had here just left, so I think we can go through. You know, you can't blame kids for being curious about the drone, and again, it is absolutely my responsibility to make sure I'm staying out of their way, because this is a public park, right? So let's move forward here, and let's see how this guy does. coming underneath the picnic shelter here. Let's go straight forward. And it's right behind me. It did just fine. And so we're getting kind of low on battery here, so I think we've had enough excitement for one day. Let's fly it out here a ways. Let's get out over the pond. Dropping it down, and it's coming down at the advertised 6 meters per second. This guy hauls the mail. We're in normal mode, and we're at 15 meters per second. So we're down low. We're just off of the surface of the pond. I know people get afraid to fly over water. I just do not see any difference in flying over water than anywhere else. But here is the one of the fountains right here. What you wouldn't want to do is fly through that fountain. So it's getting ready to go into low battery return to home. I see that's a little different dialog box than we've seen in the past. So that must be new. And look at that. It picks the gimbal back up. Interestingly enough, the Mini 2 does not move the gimbal when it goes into return to home like this did. You know, it picked it up to the to pointing straight ahead. The Mini 2 doesn't do that. I discovered that the other day. Anyway, so we're coming home, and let's see if this guy will get a precision landing. Remember, we started out with only half a battery here, so pretty short flight. Interestingly enough, I had a little different experience there with APAS than I thought I would have. So let's see how close this guy can get to the pad. And again, you know, it's got those downward sensors, and it shouldn't hit anything. It's looking pretty hard at that trash can right now. Looks like it might land right on top of the trash can. So we'll see if it readjusts as it comes down here. Remember, the pause button is your friend. If you don't like what it's doing, I wonder if it sees that circle and goes, "Is that where I'm supposed to be?" Yeah, it's coming right down. Yeah, I hit the pause button. You know, maybe it would have stopped. I don't know. And again, we're in normal mode, so I don't know, or excuse me, low battery mode, so I don't know if that made a difference. So I'm just pulling straight down on the left stick, picks up the camera. We're a little bit off the pad there, but close enough because we had concrete to land on. Let me get everything shut down and we'll do a quick conclusion. Well, that was kind of an interesting test. I got to admit, I was a little bit surprised at the APAS on the Air 2S, that it wouldn't find its way around those trees better than it did. When I was flying it right into the trees, I expected, I mean, if I had the Mini 3 Pro or the Air 3 or the Mavic 3, it would just go right around them. So this is an earlier version. I can't remember which version of APAS this has, whether it's, I believe it's probably 3.0, but don't quote me on that. I don't remember for sure. If I can find it, I'll put it on the screen down here. However, it is an earlier version of APAS, and it's an earlier version of obstacle avoidance as well. And I got kind of nervous when we were going around some of those trees because, you know, you see little branches sticking out or whatever, and you don't want a prop hitting a branch and crashing down. Where, again, I would have way more confidence with the Mini 3 Pro or the Air 3 or the Mavic 3. It just wouldn't, you wouldn't have those same issues. But it's still pretty good, and you can have confidence flying your drone. I guess I'd say common sense rules the day. The other thing that happened is a couple of little kids on scooters came up here while I was flying the drone. I was just getting ready, when we first took off, I was just getting ready to fly the drone right through the picnic shelter here. Well, I look off to my side, and there's a little kid standing there on a scooter, and he was heading straight for the drone. That's why I hit the up stick and got it out of there. I had the drone, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 feet off the ground. I mean, I don't know if he would have been able to reach it or not. That's not even the issue. Obviously, you want to stay well clear. And you know what? He's a little kid. It's my job to be safe with the drone. This is a public park, so that's on me to take care of that. I'm just saying that be aware of your surroundings because things like that can happen. What I thought was interesting, though, however, is that the mother was, I mean, she was 200 yards the other direction, and these were little guys. They were just barely above toddler stage. So anyway, it's kind of interesting, you know, not, well, anyway, I'll leave it at that. However, they kind of hung around here for a while. I wanted to fly back and forth underneath the picnic shelter here. She came up, they hung around, which is fine. Again, it's a public park. So we tried out some of the flying around some of the trees and so forth, and you saw the results. It did okay. I'm just gonna tell you, I'm surprised that it didn't do better. I'll be honest with you. I thought it would do better than what it did. So anyway, and also we didn't get a precision landing either, so I don't know what that's all about. It was in low battery when we brought it in, so that could be part of it. Anyway, enough jibber jabber. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out, and if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I appreciate you taking the time to look at this video. Yeah, the DJI Air 2S, still a fantastic drone. See you guys later.